lead us in the invocation. Steve, would you lead us in the pledge? Please rise.
It's good for us, good for me.
Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to meet today to conduct business for the city of Aztec. Please be with these commissioners tonight. Place your hands on their minds, on their hearts, and truly make it best for the city of Aztec. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Sherilyn, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Berber.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Syke. Commissioner McCord.
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Spider.
Here.
Here. Spider's here.
All are present except for Mayor Pro Tem Syke.
Thank you, Sherilyn. Okay, next is the agenda approval. If there are any items that do not meet the approval or should not be heard for consideration this evening, now would be the time to remove such items. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move to
Approve tonight's agenda.
Okay.
A second. You must be in the air.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve this evening's agenda as given. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, next we will move into presentations, and we do have Mr. Mike Patch here with the Aztec Boys and Girls Club. No, we don't have. Oh. Stealing my. Okay.
Do you need a podium?
Well, usually that's to capture him on the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Either a podium or carry the mic with you.
It's closer, I could have got that.
The spider moved it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Chief's just faster than me.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening. Everyone hear me just fine?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Mike Patch with the Aztec Boys and Girls Club. Here. First and foremost, I want to say thank you on behalf of the club, on behalf of 499 kids that enjoyed the club this last year. I want to say thank you. We are only capable of doing the work we do because the city of Aztec supports us through facilities and supports us in many other ways. So, thank you. None of what we do is possible without the community. Our mission is to inspire and enable all youth, especially those who need us the most. And I come back to that every time. Those who need us the most. To realize their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. Little aside, when I started in this job a little over 2 years ago, we had one child in the club who was special needs. He was autistic spectrum disorder. We now have 15. We were able to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America last year to bring a first-of-its-kind autistic spectrum disorder training to the state of New Mexico and work with other clubs in order to start building the skill set we need to work with all the youth in the communities. So when we say those that need us the most, it really has a meaning for me. For 45 years, we've been an integral part of this community. We focus programs in 5 core areas: character and leadership, health and life skills, sports and fitness, education, and the arts. In short, we are the resource for building the next generation of Aztec, and we've been doing it for 45 years. You may ask what that means, though, what it means to be a resource for the community. 1,500 people used our facility last year. 1,500 in a town of 7,000. But realistically, that's not the number I want to focus on, because many of those were simple touches. They saw us once, or they came in once, or they visited once. It's the 100 kids a day. The actual number at last count was 111. On average, we see 111 kids every single day during our after-school program. In New Mexico, we're ranked 49th in child welfare. National Summer Learning Foundation says kids lose 2 months of education over the summertime. Aztec schools have a just under 70% graduation rate. We have, if you were in the club today, 102 kids that were there today at our main center. 50 of them did homework today in the club. Our primary programs, as I mentioned, served 499 kids last year. 51 kids on average every single day during the summer spend an hour reading in the club. And I would invite, I'll make the invitation right now, we're signing up kids for this next summer. Come on down and read with a group of 6-year-olds. It will change your day. You will smile for the rest of the day, I guarantee it. Come on down during the summer program. Josh is signing up for it already.
With Commissioner Rogers. We're going to do a joint reading, Mike. You're good with that.
246 kids received homework help in Power Hour. That's the hour right after school when we have a volunteer, a retired teacher, and a staff member who are there to do nothing. And of course my phone rings. Isn't that always the way?
Yours and not mine.
16s went to Santa Fe and discussed government with our legislators. Basketball leagues. For many years, Aztec had a proud tradition of leagues in the club and leagues that fed the school system and worked and built strong bodies here. And then we fell off of that, and we fell off of it for several years. We now have basketball leagues again. We're hoping to build on that in the future. The teens also have a part in making their own rules at the teen club. They set their own government. They determine the punishments for other teens that break those rules as part of their self-governing. Our gym in 2014 on evenings and weekends had 13 activities. In 2016, we had 115. I'm hoping to be between, I think the comfortable place for us staffing-wise and everything else is between 150 and 200 activities after hours going forward. And I hope that's where we finish this year. 137 kids participated in DIY STEM programs and 140 others engaged in science programs. We have an awesome science program right now, and next week we start Lego robotics. As we say, great futures start here. But the big question is return on investment. For every dollar that is spent in the clubs, and this is a national statistic, for every dollar that is spent, it has been found that $9.60 is returned to the community. That means our little club has a $3 million impact on this economy. 2 years ago, our ADA was 88 between our teen and our main club. It's now 111 a day. That's a growth of 21%. But sign of the times, sign of what's going on locally economically, we're doing that on 21% less budget. So in order to go forward, we must find ways to be sustainable. To do that, we're planning, we're engaging, and we're working on partnerships. We're involved in strategic planning right now and looking at the ways we maximize our efficiencies. We're also looking at establishing partnerships. Partnerships as simple as working with the Farmington Club on the league system. Partnerships as simple as the one that recently allowed us to be awarded the Mayor's Ball for the next couple of years. Working with Bloomfield, working with Farmington, trying to find the ways that we can minimize our expenses, maximize our resource development, and move forward. We're also actively pursuing those on every level, those discussions to see what it can be, what it can reward us with. And we're looking at 2 other fundraisers in the short term that may result in that. So once again, I want to say thank you. For 45 years, this community has made this club possible, and I hope to be able to tell you that it will be here for another 45. If there are any questions, I know we've got teen center stuff and lots of things, but I know you had a full agenda, so I tried to make it short, but I'm happy to answer questions or get anybody answers.
I just think it's impressive.
Very impressive.
It's not where I would like it to be. If you look back historically, I recently had the opportunity to dig into some old boxes. And 6 years ago, we were serving 150 kids a day.
Oh, wow.
But when you realize the competition for time these days, you know, there's so many other school activities and family
Birth control.
activities. And
I mean,
That
if
is a
it has to do with the
non-sequitur.
amount of children in the area, I mean, or that they're just not utilizing it.
And that could be too. With the economy down, you know, people have moved away and
There is has been a downward trend in that. We've seen a lot of families leave, but I would like to see us restore some of that. Maybe we don't have to be at 150 or 160, but I'd like to see every kid that wants a place, needs a place in this community, knows that they have one they can go to. And part of that is working on these partnerships, working with you all, trying to get other people involved in the board or involved on committees, or just knowing what we do so that everyone in the community knows what we do. And I think, meaning no offense to anyone in the past, I think our organization made the mistake of stepping away from the community a little bit, and we're trying to be aggressively present. And I would invite you that if any of you know ways where we can be seen better and serve more, I'm open to them.
Can we think about it?
The answer's now! Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
thank
Mike,
you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Mike, thank you very much. I know when you first came to present before the commission a couple of years ago, and I remember what that position was at that time, and I know the things you worked on and struggles you worked through since then. So thank you for your commitment to the club and to the community. So, thank you.
If you want to go through any more old boxes, we have plenty. If that's a fun pastime that you do, before you leave tonight, we'll hook you up. You just give us a topic.
Okay. Moving on, then we'll move into citizen recognition. Mr. Ray,
We have none at this time, Mayor.
okay? Employee recognition.
None.
Okay, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda will be voted on with one motion. If there are any items that do not meet the approval of a commissioner may pull that item for further discussion under items from the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve the consent agenda as given.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this evening's consent agenda as given. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed, same sign. Okay, there are no items from the consent agenda, and we'll move into citizens' input. If there's anyone here this evening who would like to address the commission about any item not on this evening's agenda, you may have up to 3 minutes to do so. We do need you to sign up at the clerk's table. Do we have anyone signed up, Sherilyn? No? Okay. So no citizens' input, then we'll move into business items. Business item A is final adoption of ordinance 2017-455, amending the Municipal Code of Aztec, New Mexico, 2007, Chapter 16, Article 4, Division 4, Section 16-211, solid waste rates. Mr. Ray.
Mayor, this is the final adoption for the ordinance, which would amend those solid waste rates, as you already eloquently read. We haven't had any comments at this point. What we would do is we're changing the rates based on the new rate structure for the solid waste collection per our agreement with Transit Waste WCA.
Okay. Or any questions or comments from commission?
No, ma'am?
No? Okay. Then there being no questions or comments, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve final adoption of ordinance 2017-455, amending the Municipal Code of Aztec, New Mexico, 2007, Chapter 16, Article 4, Division 4, Section, wow, that's a lot. Section 16-211, solid waste rates.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Sherilyn, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Burbidge?
Aye.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner McClure?
Aye.
Commissioner Randall?
Aye.
All voted aye, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next is city manager, commissioner, and attorney reports. Mr. Ray?
No report.
No report. Okay. I do have, so we do need to come back and talk about our workshop time for Monday for the Raftella study. So it is set for April 3rd, Monday, April 3rd. And you said at 5?
5 to 7, yes, ma'am.
5 to 7, okay.
And we can update that. We can go, we did 2 hours, as we discussed before, just to leave it open. I think some of the discussion may lead us to that point, but we could kick it to 6. We could even kick it, yeah.
Yeah,
We
that
can-
starts putting it 6, ends it at 8.
I mean, we can still send out word too if you think there's a better date as well. I mean, I want to make it work so we get more people in. The
Right.
3rd is when Raftella still hasn't delivered their final results to us. They were going to do that by today, basically proposals and ideas. We do have the model. We've worked with the model. They've got some things to do. We'll present some things to present, and then we'll be able to work with commission in that workshop environment, but then we want to have it so that people can add comments.
Right.
If there's still a window, Mayor, if you think, and next week's a wide open week, if you think there's a better time, even on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday,
He said, I don't have a preference. I just know speaking with Mayor Pro Tem earlier today.
I just want to be able to get the most amount of people in, and so,
Commissioner McClure?
I'm not sure, but I'll be back in time. If I leave Tucson at noon, I won't be back here till 8,
So do we
8:30.
want to look at a different date?
If
I mean, I'm thinking
it's,
Tuesday could even give us more flexibility depending on schedules.
Tuesday is beautiful for me, but Monday,
And we'd still be able to do a Monday reminder, even, a couple
Right.
pushes to
Send
some
out.
people.
and to accommodate Commissioners Roger and Randall, maybe 5:30?
Yeah. I'm gonna say push it.
You know, so that they don't have to rush straight from work, maybe they can.
Well, maybe for people that are working till 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
they'd give them
Right.
time to
Time
get
to
here.
get here.
So, go 5:30 to 7:30, just as a window?
And then it doesn't make it too late for anybody who has to go get their grandbabies in bed?
Yeah,
Mayor?
nope, we can make that, yeah, we can make that happen, I think that's great. Again, the whole goal is to present to commission and to get some feedback from the community.
So are we good with that?
So we'll switch it
Tuesday's
to
perfect for me.
Tuesday the 4th.
And that is the utility rates discussion
Yes, ma'am.
at 5:30.
It's a workshop, right? It's a workshop?
It is a workshop.
Citizen input and all of that?
We'll
All
do
right.
that. So we'll lead with the presentation to commission. What we'll do is we'll show the matrix. We'll talk about where the numbers are. We'll show you where we think the optimal performance for the rates moving forward are. Then It's not mine. And
Stop
then
it,
we'll
Ed.
leave it open for commission questions, and then we'll kick it out to the public. And what I was thinking we would do as well is we'll write that agenda on the dry erase board, so we have that flow, so people can see that we'll go to the public, then we'll come back to commission as a wrap-up as we're moving forward. I think that'll give us plenty of discussion in a format,
Okay.
so we don't have people jumping up and not worried about getting comments in.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next, so we have our municipal league district meetings coming up April 10th, and they are in Farmington this year, for anyone who wants kind of the legislative updates about legislation specifically relates to cities. So that is April 10th. It will be in Farmington at the Civic Center. So we'll just need, anyone who wishes to attend needs to let Carla know so she can get you registered. Okay, so at least this time we don't have to travel down to the southern parts of the.
It's like all day.
No, it's like, they usually start at 10 and are done at, they feed you lunch.
Free
Are
food.
there
Is Josh
sessions
going to be there,
after
free
lunch?
food?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Are there sessions after lunch?
I didn't think so. I didn't think it was on the schedule, but I can check it and then
Okay.
email it out.
Okay, please.
But if someone goes and there is food, you can bring it back, just in case.
Okay. So I did attend a meeting recently with Four Corners Economic Development. We met with some folks from La Plata County up in Colorado. and their airport, the Durango Airport, as well as there was one representative from the Durango City Commission. And so it's a very interesting concept. So they have a study that's been completed on expansion for the Durango Airport, because it is more our regional airport provides us that service. And they have a study for the expansion of the terminal and the facilities there. They put forward a bond on last fall's election ballot, and it failed. But, hey, but given the number of enplanements that they're having and the traffic that they're seeing through the airport, just because the bond didn't pass doesn't mean that they aren't still having pressures and issues there at the airport. So they're trying to figure out what the way forward is and what the best plans to move forward are. There are a few things they can do short term. But this particular meeting, and I'll visit with Josh some more about this and maybe some of our other staff, they are actually considering this was a feeler meeting to see if there was interest within San Juan County. Are you listening, Commissioner Crowley? Okay. Within San Juan County, both at the county and the municipal levels, to potentially partner.
I think it's yours, but I don't know how.
Can we talk louder? In an airport authority, whereas it would create a new governing body for the airport that would include those of us entities in San Juan County. And we would help set direction. Now, obviously, their hopes are that we can figure out how to bring some money to the table too. But it was interesting that they are willing to look at some other type of governing body for the airport. So anyway, so that's something that they will be touching base with us again to kind of see if there's interest on our part to participate in such an entity. So that's a kind of a big shift. That's, also, through Four Corners Economic Development, we are working again with La Plata County Economic Development, with the COG, and trying to pull in Utah and Arizona also on doing an actual Four Corners Economic Summit. The idea being that we will actually pull together players, and they're coming to the table, they're starting to already, so that we start talking about those issues that don't have state lines and other jurisdictional boundaries, such as the airport, rail, some of the other issues dealing with our power plants and other things like that, and start talking about, as a region, what are our issues, and then how do we address those. And the other plus is that we start talking about what those commonalities are, and we invite federal agencies not to come present to us, but to listen when we talk about, here's what our projects and our plans for moving our region forward are.
Oh.
And so we are working on putting that together. We had a conference call today about that. We're looking at early August for that summit. So just something that we're, like I said, doing on truly a regional scale. So that's kind of exciting. I think that's all that I have for now. Commissioner Rogers?
I have no report, Mayor.
Okay, there was no airport meeting?
No.
I'm kidding.
If there was, I was
You missed
intentionally
it?
left out,
Okay.
which would not surprise me.
All right, Commissioner Red.
I have no report also.
Okay, Commissioner McClure.
I just have a question. I guess this would be for Mr. Watson. I've gotten a couple people asking me the status or estimated time that fairgrounds will open again.
The street is open now.
Oh, is it?
We opened it today.
Oh, today. Okay.
And,
All right.
we poured curb and gutter Monday, so we will be putting a sidewalk on the north side. And the pavement will be included in our normal paving process, probably next month.
All right, cool. Thank you. That's all I have,
Okay.
Mayor.
Mr. Thrower?
I have nothing.
Okay. All right. Then we'll move
Did
to
you
the-
just call him a commissioner?
Did I?
I think you said mister.
I
I
answered
don't-
almost anything.
I'm not sure what I said.
Let's test it out.
No one looked shocked, so apparently it wasn't inappropriate. So,
I didn't realize I got a promotion.
yes. Yeah. Okay. All right, department reports.
Miss?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commission. Just want to update you May 3rd through May 5th is the NMLZO conference. It's the annual conference in Albuquerque discussing land use and zoning issues. So I would definitely invite all of you to attend. If I get overzealous over here, you can shoot me down for the stuff that you learn. So I encourage you. There's also a scholarship. So I will send out that information tomorrow. And hopefully, if you guys are considering it, apply and we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, you're in the Hyatt in Albuquerque, so just put it out
Worst
there.
case scenario.
Thank you.
Can I be a
Thank you,
civilian
Stephen.
representative?
All right, if there are no further department reports, then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.